Hey everyone, episode 4 of Putting You in Your Place with Scott Bunn. Here today with Amy Hudson, the broker, principal broker of Remax 8, the lady that kind of keeps me in my place. She's been such a blessing to me, and we wanted to have her on and kind of let you guys know who she is. Today, I think we're targeting the people that want to get into the industry, the people that that want to make a life in the real estate world. Like today, we're putting the future agents, the future real estate agents that are considering companies to come and work for. So I wanted Amy to come on because Remax 8 is certainly a place that you have to consider if you're coming on board and want to be a real estate salesperson. So Amy, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah,
thank you for all that you do.
Yeah, well, I believe in you. You've believed in me. I really appreciate you. Give the people that don't know who you are a little bit about you and your background, and we'll kind of go from there.
All right. Well, 25 years ago, I got off an airplane coming out of Seattle at the time. And I had bought and sold my first home in Seattle when I was 21 and sold it when I was 24 and didn't have a very great time doing it, didn't understand what was going on, just didn't, the realtors didn't explain to me what I was doing. And I said, well, I'm going to learn how to do it and do it better. So 25 years ago, I got my license, and here I am now running an office with 30 some agents, selling 130 houses a year. And living a really good life. Real estate's been really good to me.
Yeah, you've shown that with a lot of courage and a lot of like ambition
and
hard work for sure, what you can achieve. You've been a shining example for me. I know from day one, the moment that I called you to come work for you. It was you brought me on and kind of molded me and let me spread my wings, and
I want to be the foundation that helps people succeed.
Definitely.
With whatever it is that they want to do, whether they want to be the top salesperson or the top assistant.
Yeah.
I want people to be successful with what they want,
yeah,
and be able to provide the foundation for that.
And that is the absolute truth. She has allowed me to have ideas and execute those ideas and not be, she's been concerned for me with some of the ideas, but she's never been threatened. I think a lot of people that have agents under them that have a lot of ambition, they could be like, oh wait, they might cut into my piece of the business, and they might, like, a lot of people could think that way, and you don't think that way.
No.
And I love that about you.
The better you do, the better I do, the better we all do.
Yeah.
So, and I enjoy supporting you if you want to try something different,
yeah,
that no one else has been doing, because that's how we progress and the industry changes.
Yeah, I think you are an innovator in that same way. So when somebody wants to do that, you see a little bit of yourself in them, and you cheer for them along the way as well.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I want to see them succeed, and I love watching them succeed, the agents.
Yeah.
I also love watching my buyers and my sellers get what they want.
Sure.
I mean, it's a win-win-win-win, 4 wins.
Yeah. So the people that are out there that are considering a real estate career, what's the best advice you could give them?
Ooh.
What do you think it takes to make it in the real estate business?
You have to care about doing the right thing for other people.
Yeah.
It's not just about getting a commission check.
Right.
It's not just about the numbers. It's making sure that you're doing the right thing for the seller, getting them the best deals possible, getting them moved when they need to be moved, the right thing for the buyer. It is, if you've got that in you, then whether you're a super detail-orientated person or someone who's more high energy and all over the place, those other parts can be trained.
Yeah.
But having the desire to do well by other people, I think, is probably the biggest thing. Yeah. Agents that are in it just for the check don't last long.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree with that 100%. I feel like if you're not coming with community service in mind, advocate for people, if you're not looking out for them, then that reputation, especially in our little market, that will spread fast.
Yeah. And it is a small town.
Yeah. And I think that's just another testament to, what you've been able to develop. And in this little small market, you rank statewide like number 1 in volume, right? Like something like that. The last year's award, what was that?
That was the number 1 producing agent for Virginia for Remax.
Right.
So,
I think
it's great.
That is unbelievable.
Little tiny houses compared to the $1 million ones in Northern Virginia.
Yeah. And I was talking about that on a previous show. Is like, our sales volume for me, I'm $150,000 per right now on 50 deals. If I was in a bigger market doing 50 deals at even 400,000, like.
Yeah, you'd have 3 times as much income.
Exactly. But,
this is what's here. These are the people we have to help.
And the great thing about being here is this is where I'm from. Like, this is a place where I've got family and the people that I love, right?
That's true.
And the fact that I can do that here and make an impact to my community and have an income for me and my family to support the things that we want to do, I think is a testament to anybody that is it feels like that they want to stick around in the area. I want our great people to consider sticking around here and making careers in the area. And this is one of them. This is a place where you can come and there's no ceiling to the income that you can possibly make. So I really think that, as you're considering career paths, if you think that you have the courage it takes to come and join us, I think this will allow you to stick around the area, make a good livable wage, and actually make a big impact to the community.
Yeah.
So that's number 1 for me is I'm trying to keep the talent in the area, and I think you and this company and what we're trying to do here is something that they've got to consider, right? So. What else do we got? What else you got?
Well, I want to ask you.
Okay.
So when someone comes in to see me to say they're thinking about getting their real estate license, the first thing I do is I look at them and say, so why do you want to be a realtor?
Yeah.
So why did you want to be a realtor?
That's exactly, I just said it. I said that there's no income cap. There's no ceiling, as I'm looking up and trying to make a great life for myself. I can be as ambitious as I want to be, And the fact that I could do that and I could serve people, because I said this in a previous episode, like what makes me the happiest is actually being productive and being valuable to people. Is what I'm seeking. Is for other people to.
I have to tell you, I was shopping for a car this weekend at Sheeler.
Yeah.
And the young man that was working with us said, "Oh, are you with the Scott Bunn division?" I said, "Well, kind of. That works for me." And he said, "I had the best transaction with him. It was seamless. He had all wonderful things to say about you."
Right.
So.
Do you remember who that was?
I have his business card in
my
file.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I got to reach out and say thank you for that.
I think he bought something of Roger Woody's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right on. Well, that we're trying to make an impact. We try to. Our goal is really just to be known.
Yeah. But for me, as the owner of a company, to have someone just out of the blue who didn't know I was the owner of the company, just come out and say what a good experience that he had working with you it makes you proud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that does. I'm happy to hear that. I want to be valuable for you. Our relationship. Where I came from and where I am now. Like you had a tremendous impact on that and helping me kind of stay on the right
we
path.
Had to keep you in a certain direction.
Yeah. But you've let me fly. You've let me take chances that a lot of people I don't think would have let me take, especially the previous company. So I and what you're doing for all your agents.
They're all different. Everybody has different goals.
Yeah.
and different things they want to accomplish, different ways, different strengths.
Yeah.
But real estate has got so many different ways you can do things.
Yeah.
There's
no straight line.
There is no. You find the path that works for you, the marketing that works for you. You have your way, and you don't have to do everything, and you don't have to be everything to everybody.
Yeah.
There's enough business out there. You just go in the direction you're going to go, and you do more of it, and you do better at it.
Right. Did I finish my thought on the why I wanted to? I finished that thought. Okay. Well, again, just to reiterate, it was I wanted to be a part of this community I grew up in, and I wanted to make an impact for the people that I cared the most about. So that this allowed me to do that, and your guidance has certainly helped us along the way. So again, like on the recruiting side, like really we've got to get people in here to at least meet with you if you're considering. I don't think there's any other place for them to go than your company. And like when people leave your company, I feel like I'm really concerned for them. I'm really concerned because if they can't thrive under your company and your guidance,
they're probably not going to make it.
I'm and there's a lot of people that I care about that have or that I was rooting for. I just don't understand like how they could not remain at your company. It's just it boggles my mind. So.
Well, people have their different reasons.
Yeah, and that's just the flow of the business, really, too.
It is.
Yeah.
It's people sometimes change companies. Sometimes they're working more towards retirement.
Yeah.
And really just want a slower paced place.
Sure.
That happens.
Yeah, no doubt. So. What else we got? Some attributes that, so when someone comes interviews you, like what are the attributes you're looking for when it comes to bringing people onto your company? Do you have like certain questions and like personality types that you're looking for?
Not certain questions. It's more of is that person able to interact on a level where you feel like you're going to build trust and relationships? Because that's the kind of person that wants to help other people.
Yeah.
And so if it's someone who is very closed, then it's probably going to be hard for them to be successful in real estate. You really have to be open to everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it, I think it takes a tremendous amount of courage to come out and like live a commission-based life, and so that's the number one attribute I think it really you need to have. Like if you're coming in as a solo agent, and not a part of like your like my team or your team, that's pretty much going to feed you from day one. Like you gotta have an understanding of what it's going to take to be successful. Tell them really about like your journey with that whole thing and like what it took you.
When I started?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was working full time as the manager of Blockbuster. That's how long ago that was.
Right.
Yeah. It was a 40-hour week. I worked night shift. So that because they closed at like midnight back then, and
so you were like a 5 to midnight type thing.
Yeah, to 1 because by the time you closed down the till and took the money to the bank. So I did that for a year, and then as my business started really building, because I did it so I would have money to live, and pay the rent and pay the gas. Then after about a year, I was able to drop to just a part-time job working at a frame shop, which I did that for another like 6-8 months. I used to say it was supporting my real estate habit. But then by the time I was a year and a half into it, my pipeline was full.
Yeah.
And it was really starting to roll. So I didn't need to do those extra jobs.
Yeah.
So it just kept rolling from there.
Yeah. I mean, it really has. I mean, it's amazing what you can accomplish over a long period of time, isn't it? Yeah. Like the staff you have, the building that you have, like the vacations you're able to go on and the life you're able to lead. I mean, you've really kind of like shown people that it's possible, and like to be able to supply other people, employment and livelihoods and the things that you're supplying people. It's certainly a model to be looked at.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'm proud of the office. I'm proud of the building. I'm proud of my agents and my staff. I mean, it's a nice place to work.
Yeah. So if you're not coming to join my team, then you definitely need to join Remax 8 as a company, and come and climb to the top with us, because I feel like I'm on my way there. She's sitting there waiting on me. So we're trying to get to the volume and everything that she's been able to accomplish. We think that there's room. And that's the theory I live by too. Is there's room for everybody at the top that's willing to work for it.
If you're willing to work for it, it's there. You just gotta go out and work for it.
Yeah. So if you got the courage, and you got the drive and ambition, then you got to come talk to us before you make any decisions on any other companies. Like, we need to sit down and talk with you about your career in real estate. And is there anything else? Any other questions you have for me?
What one word would you use to describe Remax 8?
Awesome.
Go.
Yeah, I mean, truly, like, the culture is sharing and giving, and no one is concerned with you taking their business.
Yeah.
You know, like it. In some of my business practices, like, people can definitely be threatened by the way that I kind of go around and do stuff, because I do handle expireds. I'm going after expireds. I'm going after for sale by owners. I'm highly motivated to serve people.
Right.
And if I'm within the rules of the game, I'm playing.
Right.
And you can't blame anybody for doing that. And that's what I like. That's what I love the most about you, is that even on some of your stuff that comes off, it's fair game.
It's fair game. I couldn't sell it.
Yeah.
Maybe you can sell it.
Yeah. And your ego is not in the way where I think a lot of people would be threatened by that. And knowing that, every piece of business that your company handles is a good thing for you. And personalities differ. Personalities differ with different clients.
That's true.
And so, like, that being fair game and you being okay with that is amazing. And I don't think a lot of brokers would be that way. I really think that you being open to that and being like, hey, game on, that's awesome.
Well, it is a competitive business.
It is. This is truly like my version of the UFC. Like, to me, like, this is the octagon. And I'm in there fighting. But after we're done fighting, hey, hey, you all right? How you doing? Like, let's talk strategy, right?
Yeah.
Let's really, like, formulate a plan where where I'm coming from. You actually know my strategies, and I know your strategies. So, like, we're better players because of that culture that you've developed at your company.
And that's actually why we have the mix and melts,
Yeah.
and opportunity for the agents to bounce ideas against each other.
Yeah.
Just get feedback and say what worked, what didn't work. Hey, what do you think about this? I mean,
Yeah.
it's sharing of ideas. It just makes everybody better.
Yeah.
So.
What's our runtime on this one?
20 minutes. I have more questions if you want.
Sure.
Okay.
So, Amy, you're number one at Remax in Virginia, which is a colossal feat.
Yeah.
But as Scott said, there's always room for improvement. There's no ceiling. So what are you working on right now? What's the thing you're trying to improve?
I'm actually trying to get my number count higher, because I've been the last 3 years has been around 130, between 130 to 140 units, and I want to hit over that 150. I don't know if I'm going to do it this year, but that's next year's goal, to get that in line.
For clarification, is that like 130, 150 for your whole company or for you personally?
No, me. Just
you.
So units sold. She's trying to grow her units sold.
Wow.
And that's a.
So that's a personal goal.
Yeah.
We're also trying to grow the number of agents at the office. We're at like around 33 or so, and I'd like to get it up to about 40. That was part of the reason why I had Carol come on about a year and a half ago as an associate broker to help me with the training, so that when I'm out like this and I'm not in the office, there's a broker there who can help answer the questions, run the training programs, help solve problems when the agents don't know what to do about their contracts. So yeah.
And she's been a major asset to your company as far as, like, the paperwork goes and keeping everybody in line.
Keeping everybody compliant with
Definitely.
the laws for disclosure, making sure your contracts are right. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's been doing.
And she really she cares about the job too. So that's like that. You couldn't have made a better hire than her.
Yeah.
So again, good decision to transfer her into that position. She fits, like, perfectly in that spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's doing a great job.
So 150 though, like that's almost every other day. How do you go up from there? What's like the weakest link that you're trying to strengthen so that you can move that number up?
Follow up.
Yeah.
Did too many of them slip between the cracks? Too many calls that I didn't don't. Sometimes I don't have enough time to talk to everybody in the day. What I do is talk, and I run out of talking time.
Mm-hmm.
So just trying to come up with the systems that will help me touch base with someone who called me 3 weeks ago, and I did a CMA, and then we did some follow up, and we do all the automatic follow up, but everything's automatic these days.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody gets emails and text messages.
So you have to be better.
It has to be that personal touch.
Yeah.
Touch.
So your prospecting, you've trying to level your prospecting game up a little. It sounds like.
Yes.
Yeah. And I love the fact that I've had help and influence and like showing you how I'm doing stuff.
Oh,
and,
watch what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I like being an influence. Like I like, I feel like the more successful that you are, the more opportunity and successful that I'll be. I really feel like it's healthy. The healthier you are,
snowballs.
The healthier that I can be.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah.
So client relationship management is something that like a lot of real estate agents struggle with. Is there maybe one grand lesson that you've learned that really helped you with that, or is it just kind of putting in a lot of practice?
A grand lesson that I learned to help me with
like a customer-client relationship contact, like reaching out and making sure that they know that you're still interested if they want to sell more properties, that sort of thing.
It's been pretty much the training
Yeah.
from Buffini on.
So you just need to know that you're following up. Follow up is the king.
Follow up, yeah.
Yeah.
Even if you don't have anything really new to tell them, just being the person to touch base with them as a person.
Yeah.
So
And that really the leverage and key point of that is that you have to have tools and systems and someone turning the crank while you're out in the field.
Right.
While you're doing 4 appointments a day. I'm sure that's probably your average with the volume you're doing.
When it's busy time.
3 to 5 appointments a day probably is what you're handling, right?
When it's busy, like right now it's kind of quiet because everybody's back to school mode.
Right.
But yes.
Yeah.
So it's hard sometimes for me to get to talk to everybody. So I'm trying to get systems and people in place that will help me with the follow up to touching them. That's just got to touch base with your clients all the time.
Definitely. Yeah, we figure it to be 40 conversations per every closing. Like we've got to have 40 conversations if we want to close a deal.
Yeah.
Not with one person, but 40 conversations with 40 different people to close one deal.
Okay.
So that's our number. As far as that, have you done any of that studying? Like
years ago.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've.
We feel like it's a big math equation.
Yeah.
To get to the volume we want to get, we've got to hit, X plus Y equals parentheses, denominator, that type of stuff. So it's just interesting to see if you're thinking in the same way that we are. It sounds like you are. That we gotta plug in the numbers we need to get to the volume.
Yeah.
And then have support and systems and tools behind it to actually
to get it there smoothly.
Yeah. To satisfy the customer.
Right. To get them.
Yeah. To get good service.
Yeah.
Cool. What else you got?
I mean, I think that's a pretty good place, unless there's things that you think you could help people with.
Well, either way, she is the opportunity to come work for Remax I think is a blessing. I think you need to be, if I'm putting you in your place, right? Getting back to the theme of the show is I think you do need to be selective. I think you need to be selective. I think that, and I think you are.
Well, I don't want someone to waste their time and their money.
Yeah.
Paying for the real estate license, taking the test, buying business cards and taking 6 months of time when it wasn't going to work.
What do you think it takes to be a break-even to profitable agent, single solo agent? What do they need to do? What, as far as coming into business, like how many deals do they really need to do in the first 12 months?
That's actually a pretty normal question.
Yeah.
And I tell agents that if you can sell 12 houses in your first year, 1 a month, that's a really good sign, because if you do that, you're probably going to get to 2 a month by the time you get to your second year.
Yeah.
So that's 24 houses. By the time you get there, you're making what, 50, 60,000 a year. And then your cost stays the same. You know, your cost for your MLS, your cost for your gas, your cost for your phone, your cost for your internet, whatever you're doing, your websites, all that stays the same. So if you can get 3 houses a month, then that's all profit. And so that's where you really make the money, is after you get over 36 houses a year, 3 houses a month.
Yeah.
And that's where you're making a good living.
Yeah.
So.
Depending on the tool, I mean, you got to pay for the tools and the systems, and you got to. I mean, the investment. Really,
you do. You have to invest back in your business.
You are getting yourself in a business. You are going into business for yourself. You have to know that you have to have capital all the time running back into your business.
You reinvest back in your business.
Yeah.
Yeah, whether it's trying new software, new marketing things,
personal development.
Yes, that's huge. Personal development.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you do have to reinvest back in your business, in yourself.
Cool. Well, I hope that was valuable for anybody that's watching or listening to this. You know, it's a tremendous pleasure. You know, getting 30 minutes, an hour of your time. I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
You mean the world to me. I don't know if you know that, but
you've told me, and I appreciate that so much.
Yeah.
And I am so glad that you are succeeding the way you are.
Yeah.
It's just for me to take someone who, like I said, was 3 houses that
four houses the last year at the old company,
and now how many?
Well, we're at 50 right now. We're on pace to do about 80. So
good job.
We're gonna do 30 more deals before the end of the year. I have no doubt.
Yeah.
And I think you've really had a big impact on that for me. So again, my appreciation for you goes forever. There won't be a moment that I'm not associated with your company as long as you'll have me.
I'll have you. You just keep working away and keep doing a good job.
Right on.
Make me proud.
Will do. All right, guys.